let's get into your reading, Cancer, or the collective of Cancer. So, anytime I say collective, it is for any and all Cancer placements. If you understand or know what a birth chart is, you're welcome to look at the various placements that Cancer could be in your birth chart, or if you don't know any of that stuff, that is okay. I'm here for just anyone that wants a little bit of a message here. So, whether you're a Cancer sign as your sun sign, or you have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart, or you know a Cancer, you may get a little message out of this reading, but always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, have discernment, and it's also okay to maybe not resonate, but relate to people and being like, oh yeah, I've been through something similar, and just like understanding you're not alone. I don't like making people feel left out or alone. Because like I said, there could be somebody here who completely understands all the birth charts ever and all the astrology ever, and then there could be someone who's like, I don't even know what tarot cards are really, but I think they're interesting and I want to get a reading. Well, just sit and listen respectfully. And look up the word, the definition of what resonates. Please. People forget that, like, what resonates, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, isn't just like a silly saying. Sometimes it's like a, hey, we say this for a reason. Whoa. The other ones go. Or is that it? I'm like scared to move my chair. You definitely want to come out. I don't think these two. I think if it was meant to come out, it will come out. I'm gonna take this as like a, hey, we're gonna acknowledge that the King of Swords, does it want to come out? Okay. You sure? Are you sure? This one's funky. We're gonna leave it out. Because it's okay. It was kind of indecisive whether I wanted to be popped back in the deck or not, because there's other cards out here that want to be clarified and addressed. Oh, I forgot. What's the bottom of the deck energy? We'll just do that. Because this is just overall. If I shuffle, I just ask for it, because at that point you can. It's the free will of a tarot reader. We have Queen of Pentacles as your overall energy here. This is gonna sound like a really weird metaphor, but let's say it's the apocalypse and currency comes in seeds, and you have to have seeds in order to just have anything, but the seeds essentially grow into something at the end of the day. You know, you reap the seeds that you grow. You reap the seeds that you grow. Interesting. I don't know why I said it that way. Keep note of weird things like that. Where is the abundance in the actual, like, currency, quote unquote? Where is the currency in your seeds if you have no fruit to show or bear of it? Like, no fruit to bear or show of the abundance, and it's like, I have all these seeds, I have all these seeds, I am the richest person in the apocalypse. But where are you actually growing any of those seeds? You've hoarded a lot of the seeds, and then it's like not hoarding but maybe protecting them. And then every time you're gaining more and more seeds, you're gonna be left with a stockpile if you're not gonna sit there and grow them. The only thing is with seeds, if they are not in a specific like environment when it comes to like they have to be in a decently like coolish dry environment to at least be able to be used as seeds at some point in the future. And it feels like some of the seeds that you've collected and hoarded have died, and there are like actual like I don't know how to explain this in how it I don't know if this makes sense for anyone, but there's like the seeds in themselves are seeds of opportunity, saying, oh, we can save this for later, we can save this for later, we can save this for later, save that for later, save this for later, we could just do it later, we could just. Whenever later becomes too drawn out, this opportunity then becomes a hey, there's a shelf life on this opportunity. There's a shelf life on how I want to say you even discover yourself. And this is all the energy I'm getting from just these two cards, even. Because we have the King of Swords, the Magician, and Ace of Pentacles. The pentacle that the Queen of Pentacles is holding here. I wanted to mention all this before we really got into the rest, because that pentacle is very important. The seed that we sow and grow in our lives should feel important. And this is where, if it does not, that's where I felt there's like a psychological thing that I cannot help with because I'm a tarot reader. I can pick up on it, but I can literally sit here and say, I don't know this. I am not capable to understand this. And I'm gonna preface with some tarot readers may, because they may have those actual like a resume to show for it. I don't. And that is okay. Hopefully in the future I do want to study a lot of just psychology in general. That's because tarot picks up on a lot of very weird, funky things we humans like to do, and that's oh, it's fine. We'll save it for later. It's okay. We'll just do that later. We'll manifest that dream later, and then we'll do that thing later, and then later comes and goes because that later is the okay. You don't have much time to do this anymore. Either it's almost like wanting to do yard work towards the end of summer and you keep putting it off, and then it's winter and then you can't do that yard work. And whatever it may be, let's just say whatever it was important to you. And I think this is the big thing of what has been important has been lost. And you don't need to change everything about yourself to find that important thing again. I need to grab some water because I'm like, that is some. Hold on. I like my giant jug of, thank you for the follow. I didn't even see that. Beetrushi. Beetrushi. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are on this planet Earth of ours. I like your name. It's very funky. I want to preface this off with what feels lost feels important. And this is where I'm getting the you probably put off some stuff that was important to you. And maybe not important to you, but maybe it was just important for the well-being of your own soul. You have the Magician out here, like, boom, center your reading. You are so creative and so, like, you have a lot of proactive energy. And there's, like, a strive to move towards this. Excuse me. But this is where the tarot is going to recognize your own free will. I will never stop saying that tarot comes with a choice. You can get the same reading over and over and over and over and over again, and it keeps telling you, hey, you gotta make a choice on something. You can't expect the things to magically make a choice for you. A lot of people get readings, and I'm not gonna say, hey, they're wrong for wanting to get an answer from the tarot. In their minds, some people just want an answer, and that's hey, just magically make my choice for me because I don't know what to choose. But if you choose something, you're moving forward in your life. You're taking a step forward in whatever direction in your life, but under the umbrella of moving forward in life. Each choice we make, whether we want low fat, 1% milk, or whole milk or something, they move us forward in life. Are you gonna sit there all day until the store closes deciding whether you want 1% or whole milk? When you're like, no, I love whole milk, I'm gonna get this. Or no, I only like 1%, I'm gonna get that. If you want to try something new, be decisive in what makes you comfortable in that. Because there's so much here that's like, I want to choose, I want to consider all of the options. You want to choose both, but you know you can't. Either too expensive, not realistic, not even logical, because it's like being in two places at once. You just can't be in two places at once. And I think this is the struggle of, how do I choose? Where do I go? There's a calmness in any ideas or thoughts that feel like, hey, we should probably do this, and like this is how we do it, and this would be a good idea to do it. And then I think there's a moment where, right when you feel proactive, you are asking yourself, okay, well, if we want to do this, how are we gonna do it? And that's the broken record that keeps kind of playing right here. King of Swords is a very decisive action kind of person when it comes to the swords, but the reversed energy is giving me this mental confusion and cloudedness, because the swords are the air energy. It's everything of the mind and the thoughts and how we work and function in our brains. More our brains, less our hearts, because how the brain works is it's very intellectually driven. And this is where your intellect has maybe overpowered certain parts of, I want to say, the mind itself, but also your sense of self, your love for the sense of self. Because the magician is somebody who's going to choose themselves because they want to create and manifest something. So they have to choose the work that they need to do in order to create this manifestation. Even if it's the manifestation is gonna help other people. You can help other people, but you gotta choose you and take care of you and all of that. But this is where all that confusion comes up. I think this is where I want to see through the clouds of the King of Swords here. What's going on? Honestly, I knew it. This card is even cloudy in the background. When you turn it up right, there's all those clouds in the background. Lots of mythology themes in this tarot deck, which I love. I wanna study this tarot deck, deep dive, because I'm trying to really hone in on my tarot knowledge here. Listen, I feel like I could teach tarot, but I also want to teach it in a way that is here's the door of tarot. I'm just gonna open it to you, and then I'm gonna let you peek in. And then there's all of the other rabbit holes of tarot. Tarot is a rabbit hole that leads to 90 other rabbit holes, and I want people to maybe not feel overwhelmed. At least as overwhelmed as I felt, because I was somebody that's all of this is so interesting, which, funny how this relates of all of this is so cool, how you could do this for yourself, do that for yourself, and there's this idea and that idea. Well, what if this doesn't work out, and then this happens, and then what if we have to do this, and oh, we forgot about this, and then we have to do that, and then it gets A lot of... Oh, interesting. Six of Swords reversed here. Yeah, reversed. For the... If you're listening to this, I need you to just understand the reason I stopped talking is because a card just is perfectly, like, balanced on the corner of one of the tarot decks. And I'm gonna, like, pick the camera up so I can show you. Cause, oh my god. Look at that. That's how it's being balanced. That's how the card landed. Are you fucking with me? I was like ready to like catch it and it stopped. And I was like, hold on. Okay. Ace of Cups, by the way. If you couldn't tell. Six of Swords, Ace of Cups. The wave of emotions within your heart is calling to your soul like no other, that even your brain can hear the echoes. And that's for some of you who aren't really in tune with your own heart. It feels like you know you have heart there somewhere, but there's a lack in expressing what feels like makes your heart really happy. And Six of Swords is also... It's just a lot of energy about, Oh, what the fuck? Okay, hold on. How do you guys want this? We'll do it that way. And then... Okay. Brain overload. Hold up. First off, before we get into that, clarifying the King of Swords, Six of Swords, Ace of Cups, Four of Swords. 6 and 4 swords, both in reverse. There's a lot of mental fortitude in the wrong area here. You have a lot of strength in holding back from where you feel like your heart is calling you. Oh, the Four of Swords is not in reverse, by the way. My bad. Four of Swords is upright. And only when you feel like your heart is calling to you is when I think you go to bed at night. Or whenever you get your sleep, you feel your heart maybe calling you in your dreams, calling you to rest. If you've been sleeping a lot lately, maybe it's like your body's even trying to get you to listen to your own heart. Oh my god. Okay. You have so much energy that in blatant terms and by definition and what other people may say is ignorance and a little bit of arrogance. I'm going to try and basically reword it in the sense of don't think of those words exactly. And if you want to think of those words, there is a call to remove the judgment that one has when those words are said. The act of ignorance and arrogance is played out in so many different facets in everyone's daily life that I think people tend to just forget or not really recognize, which is all right. This is the part that it's like everyone's going to have ignorance and arrogance within them at some point in their life. And learning that that is just like, it's like the removing of judgment, looking at it as that's just what it is. This is the truth of this emotion. Allows you to, okay, there's the word. We're going to move the word aside so we can see underneath the surface of this word. Because it's not like you've been ignorant towards yourself. You've been, I want to say, like, there's a, like, conditioned belief of it has to be a very specific way. And this is where I can recognize that this is genuinely not you thinking this way. This is you trying to get yourself to convince yourself to think a certain way, and you cannot. That is not who you are. That is not true to your soul. That is not what builds a house into a home. And you are the sign of, like, home and family and shit. Like, there's a key factor when it comes to cancers and why people love cancers. Like, they're just homebodies. They are the overall, the energy of the sign is a lot of, like, home and family stuff and dynamics in that, but it also is everything. So the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the beautiful, the mediocre, the okay, the not so good, kind of all right, everything. And when a dynamic does not work for you, it just doesn't. There's an honesty in recognizing that, and there's an honesty in, hey, we don't know how to not recognize this anymore. We don't know how to think differently. We don't know how to gain a new perspective. We don't know how to flip this page, like, not upside down, but turn this page in this book of life. And clarifying the Magician is the Hangman, 5 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles reversed. It's like, at the point of recognizing behavior and beliefs and seeing, it's like looking back on all of that in the past, seeing, hey, I don't actually really like this or believe in this, or I don't really want this. Like, there's an imbalance, and you know you need to find the balance, but the wake-up call comes from within, and you can't ignore it. There's so much, like, you feel so chaotic because the voice that you feel like you're trying to discipline yourself to just, like, stop, there's a certain voice that is, mind you, a healthy voice. I want to say any voices that are saying, even just people, like, if anyone's telling you to hurt yourself or others, fuck no, don't do that. That's not what I'm talking about here. I know we all have free will, but no, I do not advocate for people getting hurt, mentally, physically, or emotionally. And I think this is something you're tired of as well when it comes to yourself, because we live in a very rough and aggressive, certain parts of society, you could say, are rough and very gritty, and it's sorry, I always think of, like, grit, and then I say gritty and I'm like, fuck. It sounds silly. There's a lot of rough natures to society, and I think there is a way to learn these same things that everyone else has learned and not have to get beaten down 10 times over again. There's nothing wrong with, hey, you kind of have to, like, lose some to win some, or win some to lose some, whatever it may be. I'm thinking of that in, like, more of a sport fashion. Like, you work really, really hard to try and, like, win this one game, and putting your whole entire life onto one game, when it's like, okay, whether you win or lose, you're gonna put your all into every single game, not just one game. There's a difference in that perspective. Now, the question you need to start asking yourself, because this is the part I cannot answer for you, is where do you find is the healthiest form of, hey, we don't need to put our all into just one thing or one day. We can spread things out. We can do things moderately. There's something that has been imbalanced and is like chaotically. I feel like there's just, I don't know what kind of chaos is happening right now, but it's blocking you from trying to actually see through to your own personal solutions. And I think you need to deal with it in the sense of understanding, hey, friends, family, whoever, I need to go and just have you either, I need you to help me so I can help you, or I need to go help me so I can help you. I can't do everything on my own here if I am not getting even the right amount of sleep. So, the Four of Swords is the rest. Someone's always sleeping in that card in a way, or laying down. Oh, okay, this is where we lead to Ace of Pentacles, the Tower, Nine of Swords, the Hermit. Whether you want this wake-up call or not, it is on your front doorstep, needing to either be answered or ignored. And whether you choose to answer this door of opportunity for yourself, or sit there and see, hey, I don't know, I may open it, or I may try to think about it, or maybe try and get up, but I don't really know. I don't really know how to do that, so I'm just gonna sit here. Just gonna sit here and thank you, Gigi. It's the world card right there. Watch the world go by. When you want to experience life in it, are you just gonna watch the world go by while you're left to just watch it alone? When you want to experience it, there's like a wanting to experience it. And even if you've had experiences you've wanted to do, you want to experience this thing for yourself and actually enjoy it. And there is a block of chaos. I can't exactly pinpoint it because this is where I'd like need to genuinely clarify, like, person to person per se. And this is where we get into this double bottom of the deck energy, because when I split the tarot cards, the Sun reversed and Two of Cups came out. And this kind of tells me, because the Tower, structures and belief systems and how we carry ourselves in our lives, the things that we've built up in our mind that carry ourselves through a lot of shit of Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is the... There's so much involved with Nine Swords, because it's a lot of, like, heavy pain, hurt, mental, like, weight. There's always someone just kind of, like, head in their hands, just, like, mentally hurting. And there's a structure in your mind that just can't be ignored. The Gigi down here, that's my roommate's cat. She's learning how to be careful with her claws, because I have sensitive skin, so even if she just scratched me, even if she just scratched me a little bit, she didn't just scratch me, sorry. If she scratches me, like, just a little bit, my skin's gonna get, like, a little, like, scrape on it. And I'm like, god damn it. It's not even her fault. She's being cute down here, don't mind me. The Hermit is another card of, like, hey, wake up, because the Hermit is a inner journey that is going to shed light and allows you to have the free will to shed light on things that haven't made sense. Whether it hasn't made sense to you, or has it made sense in its entirety of, like, why can't I figure this out kind of a thing. There is a sense to choose yourself, because this is where you find your enlightenment. When you sit in that void of your mind and you sit in some uncomfy parts, because humans, we're not that great or nice to ourselves sometimes. Unless you want to sit there and be arrogant, but that's the definition of arrogance. It's just, hey, like, it is what it is. There's nothing really, like... it can be demeaning. I think that's the thing of being aware of, like, hey, this is just a word, but also this is how it can be used. And I think this is also maybe for some of you how you're exploring the fluidity and uh fluidity of language. I don't know why that makes sense to my brain to say, but it just does. That may make sense to other people. But feeling like you can choose your words carefully and thoroughly and intuitively, I want to say. The biggest advice here is to tune back into your heart. When everything is clouded and chaotic in the mind and in your physical space, you need to take a step out of this tower of structure. Because if this tower is shaking and crumbling under this pressure that you are feeling, that you may not be honest with other people that you're feeling, the hermit is giving you this opportunity to have a moment with yourself, to leave this system of belief, this tower of belief. Whether it's a belief system for yourself, towards yourself, how you treat yourself, or whatever's going on in your life and how you've structured your mind and the way you function and live and breathe in this world, you know? Somewhat what makes us us as humans, you know? The hermit is calling you to just step outside, and I think some of you really need quiet time. Like, you need to shut your brain off in order for it to turn itself back on and give you the proper, like, knowledge for your own well-being. Because you know yourself like no other, but there's so much cloudedness and chaos that I feel like you need to be honest with yourself at this time, because the tarot is only going to be is probably going to be the only one that's going to be nice about it in the moment. I feel like other humans, when they don't fully know the situation or understand what you're going through, or tend to give harsher responses, but the tarot is going to see it as it is and tell you as it is, and just tell you it not in a good or bad way. This is what it is. And I really preface that whatever you feel like is healthy for you is going to be very good for your mental well-being. The food you put in you, the water intake, just getting outside more. It doesn't have to be like super abundant exercise, but just keeping yourself healthy when it comes to what you are giving your body, taking in, and also like what kind of energy, in a sense of like, if you find that every time you are out in nature on a nice day you feel a little better, well, maybe do that. Or if you are someone who you want to play the cello and you go and you play the cello and you feel a little better after that, and it's like the same feeling that that person had just taking a walk outside. There's a getting out and getting into your passions, getting into the things you genuinely want to do, and something that's going to enlighten you in the process. And I think it's that heart that's calling to you. You can't ignore it. You just can't. Can't ignore it, right, Gigi? She's sitting on top of my subwoofer. A cat is sitting on a woofer. A subwoofer. How ironic. That is all I have for you, Cancer, because I am just going to keep repeating myself. But the sun is that card of enlightenment, but you are the one that makes the choice. Two of Cups, to integrate with yourself and your soul, and just integrate with your own sense of self, because it's outside the tower. The sense of self never resides in the tower. The tower is what we build as a vision for our sense of self. And it can be as daydreamy as we want, but we know, hey, this is what we get in reality, kind of a thing. There's a lot of things I want for my stream, but I still kind of accept that, hey, I kind of like what I have right now. It's actually like enough, and more than enough. When I was 15 years old, first figuring out how a capture card worked. So I'm 25 now, just to clarify. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep. I want to keep repeating myself, but I feel like the reason I want to keep repeating myself is some of you just aren't getting it. But it's why? Why is it hard for you to go there in your mind? And well, I don't want to. I don't need to go there. It's no. There's no point in me thinking about that. It's just a waste of time. If it's a waste of time, then why does it keep coming up in your mind? If it's a waste of time, why do you keep thinking about it? Why do you keep wasting time having it come up in the mind? Because the time you think you're wasting about thinking about it is actually going to save you time in the long run. And I want you to think of it as literally like meal prepping, but also like meal prepping for a whole entire winter. Like for like a 4-person family. That is a lot of work. But they will be fine for the whole entire winter. And then they can at least have less struggle and stress moving into the spring season and planting new seeds, growing new crops, reaping the harvest from that crop, and then again doing the work to plan for the winter. There is seasons in our mental and emotional and even physical states. The biggest example for this is just general information I know. I know I said I'm not like a medical professional, but this is just what I know because I have to know about my female body, and be aware of its functionalities and our like I think it's a hormonal cycle for females and female bodies is on a 30-day, like 28 to like 30-day cycle, while a male's like male body's hormonal cycle is 24 hours. So everything that we experience as females in 30 days, men experience in 24 hours. And when you become aware of that, those simple little things, these cycles and patterns matter because these cycles and patterns can be altered and changed into benefiting us in the longest of runs in the future, to where you're 60, 80 years old, just sitting back enjoying the sun, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want at that point. But I'm just giving an exaggerated example. I think you all know what I'm trying to say, and that is what I'm gonna leave you on. I just want to say that little bit because I know I went off on some tangents, so. Anyway, thank you for being here. We are not ending yet on Twitch. This is being recorded for YouTube, so if you are watching on YouTube in the future times, thank you for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Peace.